Hi friends! Got a little bit of a late start today, so I'm reading in my bedroom. Today's chore day, and so everybody's out in the rest of the house doing chores, which is pretty awesome because that means I get to read you a book while my house gets cleaned. Isn't that cool? Today I'm going to read you a book called Brave Enough for Two. Hoot was Olive's very best friend in the whole wide world. But as you know, best friends don't always like the same things. Take, for example, adventures. Olive preferred the kind found in books, while Hoot, on the other hand, he preferred something a little bit different. One day Hoot said, "I've made something special for you, but it could be a small bit scary and a slightly bigger bit adventurous." "You know I don't like adventures," said Olive. "I'm not brave like you." "Don't worry," said Hoot. "I will be brave enough for both of us." And there they go, off to adventure. "Wow, it's very nice," said Olive. "But does it go high?" "A little," said Hoot, climbing into the basket, "but not too high." So Olive followed after. Up they rose, over the rooftops and the treetops, till the ground looked like a giant patchwork quilt passing beneath them. It does look like a quilt, doesn't it? See all the different patches? "What do you think?" asked Hoot. "I think this is what it's like to be a cloud," said Olive. "But we've gone way more than just a little bit high." Then a little drop of water landed on her nose. Oh no. The clouds darkened and thunder cracked with a flash of light, and giant drops poured from the sky. The wind swirled and the basket rocked back and forth. "What if the wind blows us far away and we get lost?" cried Olive. Hoot squeezed her hand. "We can never be lost," he said, "so long as I am here and you are there, and here and there aren't very far apart." There he is, keeping her safe. All of a sudden, the sun poked through the clouds, and the wind calmed. "Look," said Hoot, "it's a rainbow." Hoot untied the balloons one by one. Lower and lower the basket dropped, till it scraped the ground and toppled over, and the pair rolled out, head over bottom, into a patch of grass. "We made it!" Olive said in a surprised sort of way. "What should we do now?" "Of course we made it," said Hoot. "And now I have another idea." I wonder what his idea is. Hoot pushed the basket into a nearby river. "I've never been in a boat before," said Olive. "Then it will be the first time for both of us," said Hoot. "But will we go fast?" asked Olive. "Maybe, just a little," said Hoot, trying to tie a flag to their new ship's mast. Here's the flag. I don't know about this adventure. The boat bobbed and spun like a carnival ride. "What do you think?" asked Hoot. "I think we're going a little faster than just a little," said Olive. She looks worried again. Down the river they sped till it became a bubbling cauldron of rocks and waves. "We're going way too fast now," cried Olive. Hoot paddled with all of his might. "Don't be afraid," he said. "I'll keep you safe." He's trying really hard to take care of her. And he did. Whew, they made it to dry ground. But on the shore, Hoot was very quiet. "What's the matter?" asked Olive. Hoot picked up a piece of his stuffing. "I'm not feeling all that well," he said. Maybe he worked a little too hard keeping her brave. Olive paused, but only for a moment. And then she said, "Don't worry, Hoot. I'll lead the way home. I will be brave enough for both of us." And Hoot followed her every step. "It will be dark soon," said Hoot, "and if it gets dark, we might get lost." "Hoot," said Olive in a kind way, "so long as I am here, and you are there, and here and there aren't very far apart, we can never be lost." I like this little picture over here. It's them holding hands. Oh, there they are again. There's his little owie. Just as the sun began to set, a familiar sight appeared. "Home," they both said. That night, Hoot got a patch for bravery. "And tomorrow, how about I choose the adventure?" said Olive, and Hoot smiled. Getting all patched up. "I was afraid today," he said, "when my stuffing came out. But you were brave, and you kept me safe." "Don't ever be afraid," whispered Olive. "I'll always keep you safe." And she did. So, what do you think the moral of that story was? I think it's important that we do things even though we might be scared. So being brave doesn't mean you're not scared. It just means you're brave enough to try something. Maybe don't go flying off in hot air balloons with an owl. And maybe don't float down rivers in a basket with an owl. But there's a lot of things that we can do that are a little bit scary that it's important that we do. And if we stick together, things aren't so scary anymore. And even if we don't have a friendly little owl, we have our mom and dad, or our grandma and grandpa, or maybe our sister or our brother. We have lots of people that can keep us safe and comfy and make us feel better about what's going on. And if all else fails, we do have one pretty awesome thing that can always keep us safe and help us be brave, and that's God. He is with us always. Always, always, always. And He can help us be brave even when we don't really feel like we can. And He's never far away from us. So as long as I'm here and He is there, and here and there isn't that far away, He's always with me. And we can be brave and safe and not lost. So today we are going to do something kind of fun. We're going to try to make a hot air balloon, and then we're going to try to figure out where we would go if we could go on a grand adventure. And who would we bring with us? See you in a minute.